Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, I'm going to cover some ground that I have covered before with Chick Publication comic books. This is The Angel of Light, originally from 1978. This copy is about 30 years old. So when I bought a bunch of them, I went through and the last time I did anything with Chick, it just showed you all the Chick comics that I've got, and this was one of them. And but this time I was going to go more in depth. I've done that with some of these Chick books before as well. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with Chick Publishing, founded by Jack T. Chick, is best known for his religious tracts, which you can find all over the place, such as this one. This is actually a more recent one than most of the others that I've got. This is from actually 2000. So, and the others I've got are from farther back than that. And Jack Chick he died, I think it was 2016. Originally, he started a religious fellow, very religious fellow, in a kind of odd sect, and he started he wanted to reach out, and he was not as comfortable speaking to people in front of audiences, so he started making these small tracts like this to publish them for people to spread out, to hand out or give away, or often you can find in places like public bathrooms and other places that people publicly frequent. And he initially did all the writing and all the art, such as here. And he was a legitimate cartoonist. He had worked on some comic strips and stuff before that, until he started this. Then in the 70s, he started a line of comic books, mostly featuring his characters, who he called the Crusaders. And for the comic books, he had recruited, and they also did some of the art on some of the smaller tracts. These are regular-sized comic books. You can see a whole bunch of them available here on the back. And got other artists. Now, this is to do these. This is primarily. I can't remember this artist's name. I mentioned him in a previous episode about Jack Chick. And he is a wonderful, wonderful artist. Unfortunately, the stories are, stories that are being told are terribly told. They always degenerate into nothing but a lecture, and all pretext of story is abandoned. But it's some wonderful artwork, and I'd like to have seen him, this artist, doing some other mainstream or alternative publications, as well as these. Now, I've covered other religious oriented comics before, and I will do so again. And I try to cover them just as publications. Now with this, they usually start with a framing storyline, and then it just goes. After that, it goes off the rails. But this is issue 9, or volume 9, I should say, because they weren't our regular issues. And I think not sure how many they had in total, and they kept printing them up over the years. That's why I said this was originally from '78. I bought it as a bunch. I ordered a bunch about 30 years ago, 25 to 30 years ago. And that's when I got these. And these were, so it was undoubtedly more recently printed than that, than the 78 date. And you can see here, Angel of Light, of course, it's talking about Lucifer, because the light bringer. And gets into occult stuff. You can see like with the pyramids, the sun and the moon, and the zodiac here. It's a beautifully done painting of a very beautiful angel, and then you see the blood on his hands. And we'll start off. Just take a brief look in here. Angel of Light, and you can see there's actually kind of ahead of mainstream as far as some of the coloring was concerned. It's beautifully colored, beautifully drawn, and most of the coloring looks like it was done with marker and airbrush marker, which was really ahead of its time at the time it was published. Such as these two creepy looking guys looking at the paper, talking about some serial killers killing women, and it turns out it's them. And they go, me too, let's go get another one. Okay. Then our Crusader heroes are Tim and Jim, coming out of a restaurant, and the two creepy guys are pulling up to the along the street where this lady is waiting for a bus, and they go, looks. Tim and Jim say, "Oh no, help!" See, they're trying to snatch the girl. They jump out, be heroes, beat the crap out of the guy. They pull a shotgun out and get shot at. Now this is the artwork is, as I said, the artwork is great. The visual storytelling in this part is very fine. You can it's very dynamic and all that. Look at the beautiful work on the brickwork behind the figure, and the expression on this lady's face is just wonderful. And they have some great expressions for her all through here. Then they take off, and the cops are in hot pursuit. And this is one thing that gets kind of right here. It's like no cops seem to have anything to do with talking to the potential victim or anything else. It's just leave her to her own devices and her two rescuers. But the cops do chase the bad guys up on the highway on the flyover. They go over the railing, and they are gone. Boom. So then Tim and Jim are taking her home, the lady home. Still nothing about did the cops take her statement, interview her and or them, offer any information about victims counseling, anything like that? No. They skip over all that. They're driving her home, and then she is just in shock, and says, "Oh my God, I could have died. I nearly died." And then they start preaching at her. Says, "No, you'd be in hell right now. I think this is your place, Darlene." Says, "I wonder what it'd be like in the next life. I hope it'd be a better person." And take this woman when she is in a vulnerable position and start preaching at her. And shortly after that, her and her boyfriend come to their place. He's not. Remember, this is the late 70s. Still had what they would have called long-haired hippie freaks, and they come, and he's not happy with them scaring her even further, and this is where it starts to go off the rails, where it degenerates from storytelling to being nothing but preaching, talking about Lucifer, Satan, different people. Lucifer was the planet Venus, but that's regardless, start preaching about that. I goes back to the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. At least in this rendition of Adam and Eve, most renditions that I have seen of Adam and Eve, they're blonde, look Northern European. At least here they're both dark-haired. They at least look like they could have been from the Mediterranean region. And usually you see Northern Europeans. I've known people from the Middle East who were at least as pale as I am, but I think they would have been darker complected, but at least they make them give them dark hair so that they look more regional, and then it's just a lesson on their version of history, and Lucifer, Satan, and the demons, and going through after the flood, through Babylon, etc. Nimrod has the demons through mixing through biblical characters into historical characters and Egyptian mythological characters, tying things through to that on up through history to some of the stuff about Hebrew prophets, etc., and Egypt, and through paganism. It's just on and on through the and through the Jewish leaders at the time, etc., until it eventually gets on and through to the pagan world, and it just goes way off during the discussion. Again, great job on the expression on both of their faces. The artwork is just wonderful, but the storyline just goes off the rails. Here it even has a flow chart of Satan and his demons, and on up to Revelation. During the course, they both of these people get saved, etc. And it did not go on into Catholicism, which I am surprised, because they're generally very anti-Catholic. They have had a whole series of books dedicated specifically to anti-Catholicism, and at least it did not do that so much here. But I still enjoy seeing and reading these comics. But they're usually known for, like I said before, anti-Catholicism, anti-science, such as in this tract here, for example, is just the whole thing is nothing but lies about science. I mean, the easily refuted lies just takes a little bit of research, even decades ago. But I still enjoy him. I would never ban or take anything to stop people from producing these books. They're not as good. I mean, the artwork is superior, but as far as reading experience, is not as good as most of the other religious-oriented comics that I have seen, such as Spire and a couple others, which are more teen and reader friendly. But it's they're out there, and a part of comics history. It is an important part of comics history. But that's all I have to cover with you this time, with Angel of Light, The Crusaders, Volume 9 from Jack Chick. And thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Do leave your comments down below. Have you read some of these Crusaders comics before? Or the Chick... the Chick tracks or the Chick comics, anything like that, let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.